Grana Wheat Ninibang, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. So today we're going to do a little bit of a KO review. So this is the KO version of Optimus Prime from the Siege line. This is actually an oversized version, so when we do the comparisons later you'll be able to see exactly how big this guy is versus your regular Siege Optimus Prime. This guy is called the BPF Commander and he's from the Deformation line. As we always do, let's start to look at the packaging. This is the packaging. It's a brown box. It's a brown box. That's what this is. Packaging. Moving swiftly on, we move on to the figure itself. So the main event, BPF Commander, aka Optimus Prime. He also comes with his destructions, and his destructions are pretty KO as well. They look a little bit like what we get with the Siege, even down to a little bit of a Siege version of the artwork there. They've got really good instructions actually on this one. Pretty much exactly what it's like with the Siege lineup, but just on some shiny paper. So yeah, total KO on that as well, but with some added artwork. And the first thing that I'm going to say about this guy, obviously I've already said it, he is oversized, so he's bigger than the Prime that you're going to get within your normal line of Siege. So if you already have this guy, he's bigger. If you already have this guy from Hasbro, this guy is bigger than the Optimus Prime from Hasbro. We can have a quick look here at his detail. So he still has a lot of molded detail. You get the turquoise on the front here, which is actually a really nice little touch, and you still get some nice molded detail here at the front, and very much unlike the Hound that we got, which I'll also bring out a little bit later on to show you. This is pretty much just a straight up KO version. You know, they haven't changed anything. Hound had a very different head. This is just straight up oversized KO. The plastic actually feels really nice on this. It's quite a heavy. I don't think there's any die cast in this, but it's still quite a heavy, large version of the Siege Prime. So, if you like the Siege Prime, then this actually isn't a bad KO of it at all. And you can see we still get all the paint and the molded detail here. So for comparison, if I bring out a couple for comparisons. So first of all, I haven't got this version of the Siege Prime, but I do have the 35th anniversary version, and this is the 35th anniversary version. So you can see side by side, you can see how much bigger this guy actually is. If I bring the camera down slightly, you can really see here that they are he's much bigger. This is actually closer to I guess what a Masterpiece would even be. So this is very big. You can see that they are pretty much apart from colorization, you can see all the molded detail is identical on this. When we go down on the other side as well, so you can get a good look on that side, you can see all the molded detail matches up identically from model to model. Take away Prime and you can see how this guy now looks next to the KO version of Hound that we reviewed before. So this is the KO version of Hound, and they're of a similar size. Now obviously one was Deluxe and one was Voyager in the Siege line, but here they've kind of made them both a similar size. They're both oversized. I think actually they look pretty good, because this obviously would be quite a big Jeep. Maybe it's a little bit bigger here than it needs to be, but this is a pretty good oversized KO as well. But I have to say, when it comes down to quality, they definitely put more effort into the Prime than they did the Hound. Accessories for this version of Prime are identical to the versions that we get with Siege Prime. So you get your little shield. Again, this is kind of like an oversized shield, so we don't get a port on the back with this one, so there's no little hinge, so you can't put this in. There's no way to bring it on, so you'd have to attach this on the side here, I guess. So that's one difference. And then we also get his classic ion blaster that we would need to put in on the side here. With him being an oversize, I don't believe he is siege compatible. Let me just check. Oh, he is. I don't think Hound was, so he is still siege compatible, so we can weaponize him up with all of the other siege weapons if you so wish. So you can still use your siege weapons with this version of Prime. That's something that they've changed from when they did the oversized Hound. Interesting. Okay, time for the transformation or deformation, I guess, with this figure. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to just take off this side bit here and this side bit here just to free up all of the legs. Then fold your wheels down. Once you've folded your wheels down, you can start to work on this part, and you can just pull out the arm piece, pull out the front here, then open up the windows, which is cool because it reveals a kind of a matrixy type affair here. Then unhook, now unhook here, and then this whole piece will just come through. At this point, when you've kind of got everything opened up like this, you can close the windows just for a second while you tap this down and tap that down and bring the arms then out. So as the arms are out, then you can work on this back piece here by folding this piece down and folding these other pieces in and in. Once you've got those in, you can then swirl that around and bring out Prime's head at this point, which has been securely tucked inside of the body. Very securely tucked inside the body. You can bring the head out, and then it just tabs in like that. Arms come round. This is the fiddly piece. So if you just move the arms up, the fiddly piece, trying to get these wheels in and out. It's easier on this one, I say, than the Hasbro version that I have, but it's still fiddly where you just fold the wheels kind of back in on themselves, and then trying to get them over this piece here is the real challenge here. So you bring it in, and then round and down in. There we go, and then you have them both in here. Then you can bring it in, fold the arms down, so you swing this piece round here, and then fold the arms round and down. Then you're going to look at the legs, and this piece can just fold back on itself to go. Could just go down there. Then you're going to bring the arms around, the legs around, so fold this piece out on the legs, bring it round, and fold this wheel here round. Bring the leg piece down, and then this bit will just fold in and around. Then fold this round. Do the same on this leg. Fold the wheels round. This comes round, and you flip out this piece here. Tab it in, spin it round, and then out it comes. And there you have Deformation Prime. So now we have the fully transformed BPF Commander, aka Optimus Prime. As I said before, this is the Deformation version, and fully transformed, he looks pretty impressive, especially if you love this Siege version like I do. Bringing it in, looking at his head sculpt, we can see he has a really nice head sculpt here. Really nice, very nice blue eyes here, as Prime should. Really nice blue on here. So this is all blue plastic, some painted detail as we go through. plenty of molded detail and all the colors you would expect from this figure. Then again, really nice molded detail on the side, and blue for the feet. No die cast on this one, unless this is die cast. Actually, this is die cast. So this piece here, this is die cast. Everything else feels plastic, but this piece feels like it's die cast. So you do get some die cast in the figure, but all in all, the molded detail on this guy. He has a little bit of a backpack. Like I say, he is a straight up one-to-one oversized KO version of the Siege Prime. So articulation wise, he has everything that you would come to expect. A full 360 rotation here, a nice rotation on the head with a ball joint, and then a nice rotation here at the elbow and an elbow bend. His hands also rotate slightly. Then when we come to the hips, we get a nice 360 on his hips. We also get some great hip action here. Can he ninja kick? I think he should be able to, even though he has a little bit of a backpack. I believe he could still go on. You can still do it, Prime. So yeah, he can still ninja kick with the best of them, which is great. It's got great big feet here, and you get that. You get the toe articulation here, and you get some toe articulation at the front as well, and rotation here at the legs, and a nice overextended knee bend here for when you need it. Backpack is not too big on this guy, so all in all, pretty good figure, especially for the price. So very, very posable. Accessories, again, we're going to bring them out and show them in a little bit more detail and a little bit of a comparison. So this is his shield from the KO version, and this is the size of the shield that we get with the Siege Prime. So you can see there's a big difference there between the two. This, of course, transforms into his axe, which will just pop the little bits out here and then pop the mega bit out here. So that's his axe, slightly less painted detail than on the normal one, but I guess they have to save money in some places. So you can stick that into his hand and he can hold his axe like so. Obviously no Autobot details on it, and then we also get the classic ion cannon for Prime to hold as well. Posability, as I said, is great. His joints are pretty good. I wouldn't say there's any loose joints on this figure. So yeah, all in all, not bad. So now we'll move on to the comparison. So the comparison here between Prime and his Siege version. So you can see he is a lot bigger than the Siege version. And also, if I just bring Earthrise out here, obviously he's also a lot bigger than the Earthrise Prime. So if you feel that you need a slightly bigger Prime in your collection that still looks authentic along with the Siege line, this guy could be an easy pickup for you guys. You can see how he also stands next to Sideswipe. This is Sideswipe being the deluxe size, so he towers over a Sideswipe here. Sideswipe not is obviously the deluxe model, not a Voyager class, so he's much bigger than them. Bringing out the Hound also from this range, from the Deformation range, you can see that he is a bit bigger than Hound, so he scales quite well in the Deformation range with Hound. It's time for my final thoughts, and would I actually recommend this product to anyone? It depends on where you sit on KOs. So this is a very, very cheap version of Prime. You can pick this guy up on AliExpress for under £15. That's definitely under $20. So he's very cheap, but the plastic feels good. He is oversized, so for me, he fits in quite nicely with my Siege collection. He looks pretty good. I prefer him to the KO version of Hound, although I do think that the KO version of Hound, apart from the head on that one, is actually still pretty good. This is even better than the KO one, so I would recommend anyone who would like to have an oversized version of the Siege one to pick this up. Why not? You know, it's a great price. It's a good looking figure. The plastic feels good on it. So if you are okay with owning KO versions of it, I would say yeah, this is an easy pickup. So guys, thank you for checking out this review. Let me know if you've picked this guy up at all. What are your thoughts on Deformation Commander? He's Oversize, Prime, Siege. If you like the Siege Prime, I would say pick this guy up. Give us a like, a share, and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Peace!